advantage, and there's a crash on the right in the centre.
The Santos Tour Down Under reaches a climax.
The panic is on board the SkyTrain Express.
And only one of two men will stand tall.
And Goss really has got his legs on this year. Cameron Meyer gets the victory.
Cameron Meyer has come of age, as Matt Goss shows true grit in a bid to turn the tables.
Matthew Goss is third, a 4-second time bonus.
It's an 8-second margin that separates the world's best. Who will triumph as Australia's premier cycle tour comes home?
Big tack of riders, everybody now moving up to the front if they're thinking about victories. The riders at the back now, Phil, are just thinking about getting this race over and done with. They know they've had a hard race this afternoon, because we will have finished 90 kilometres inside of the 2 hours by the end of the day, and who would have predicted that? Normally the race starts a little bit slowly for the first 2 or 3 laps, but this one started straight out of the gate, and that was all because of Matty Wilson of Garmin Cervelo.
Just look over the shoulder of these three riders and look at the riders. Their heads are twitching. They're checking who's coming up everywhere to see who's setting the pace. Rabobank and the Orange Boys, they're riding for one man now, the youngster, 20 years of age, Michael Matthews. They're keeping an eye close on him.
Some lime green jerseys moving forward as well, and that, of course, is the team of Liquigas, and they've got some fast riders in their midst. And not too far away, Quickstep as well in the tail blue jerseys. They'll be looking after their new sprinter, Francesco Kiki, and he's no stranger to winning final stages. I remember seeing him win the final stage of the Tour de Langkawi in Malaysia a couple of years ago.
But the man that's been turning on the star for Liquigas, though, is Viviani. He's also sprinting extremely well, and I think they might be looking to bring him home first. Elia Viviani, he's been placing top 4 when he's had a good shot at the finishing line. So Liquigas, people want to win the stage as well as win the race. It's very important. This is a Pro Tour, World Tour they call it now, event. Maximum points for this. And this is very, very good for the team. It's ensuring them the rides in the major events around the world next year, not this year.
Well, Mickey Sorensen feels that he's got the power in those legs. He's actually blown Stuart O'Grady out of the back of that group, but he has not got rid of this young Swiss rider, Simon Zahner, who's coming across the gap, digging deep to try and make sure he stays at the front of the race. But we're looking at, what, 4 or 5 seconds advantage over the front end of the main field, which is still being driven by 2 teams mainly, Rabobank of Michael Matthews and HTC of Matty Goss.
That is a 6-second gap, and now they pull back a second, they pull back a man to survive. And the bell will be music in their ears. That'll set the adrenaline rolling as they come through. It's a tandem here of Switzerland and Denmark, but it can't possibly succeed now. These are the final death throes of 2 very aggressive cyclists.
Mickey Sorensen looking over his shoulder, and what can he see? It's black, white and yellow of HTC High Road. They're in the driving seat now, but they know this is going to be critical. This next 1.5 laps, Phil, is going to be a real battle of the sprinters. The best sprinters in the world are all here at the moment on the streets of Adelaide.
And it could be the man that wins the day wins the Santos Tour Down Under. It is as simple as that, despite all the complications. Cam Meyer, Matthew Goss, Michael Matthews. If one of those boys wins today, they win the Tour. That's it, isn't it?
That's what it's all about. That bell indicates 4.5 kilometres to go to the finish. Graham Brown has moved up there for Rabobank. What they want to do is look after their man. He's a young kid, just 20 years of age, Michael Matthews. They're going to try and steer him to glory. It's putting pressure on HTC, but Matty Goss, I feel, has a burning desire to win this race. He's got a slightly better chance of winning the race overall than Matthews, because Matty Goss only has to finish in the top 2.
Of the top sprinters, Greipel was the best man through, going out onto the last lap in 11th place, and then there was Viviani in 14th place. Matthew Goss was in 17th place. Of course, you can throw a blanket over the lot. It really, positions don't matter, but it just shows you who is paying attention as we now speed around this circuit for the 20th and final time. The boys at the back, their race is done. The boys at the front are trying to work out how are they going to get their man across the line in first place. 3 teams, 3 riders, 1 can win.
Another team doing pacemaking at the front in the red and white jerseys. It's Radio Shack, and I say one thing, Robbie Hunter from South Africa was riding very well yesterday on the slopes of Old Wollonga Hill, and maybe they are getting themselves organised for one of the two Robbies, either Robbie Hunter or Robbie McEwen.
I actually shouted at Robbie McEwen at the start today. Robbie Hunter waved. The two Robbies on Radio Shack both can sprint. One could lead out the other. So many combinations. Two races here. One to win the day, one to win the race.
And it's so much pressure on poor old Cameron Meyer. He's got to sit in the main field and watch this. I'm not discounting Cameron Meyer. If Cameron Meyer gets himself inside of the top three, that's all he needs, a top three finish. He's won the day.
Well, we are going to take a couple of seconds to work out who has won this tour after they cross the line. I think it's still Garmin Cefello. They still have the leader of the tour in the ochre jersey on their squad. At the Legends dinner last night, Cameron Meyer said on the microphone, well, I'm going to do my best, but I have an advantage. I wear the ochre jersey, and that's what he said. And he certainly does that with pride.
Sky were moving up on the right-hand side there. They're trying to see whether or not they can get a victory for their sprinter, Ben Swift. This is going to be an incredible charge to the line.
We've always said it was a sprinters event, and this year it really is. They're over the top of Montefiore at a terrific speed there. As now Team Sky's Matthew Heyman drives on here, the former Commonwealth Games road race champion.
Geraint Thomas is up there in the white jersey with the red, white and blue bands around the middle, champion of Great Britain.
There, at bottom of pit, it looks like a white jersey, but that's the ochre jersey of Cam Meyer. He's riding about 25th. He's going to have to find a wheel and move forward.
Well, now's the time when you've got to figure out whether your teammates have got the right position to lead out. A little bit further back, HTC may well be playing the waiting game, using Mark Renshaw to try and launch their man, Matty Goss, into the right place at the right time. All of the bottles now are being ejected from the bike, so these machines are as light as possible.
Is Team Sky going to come to the rescue of Cameron Meyer on a rival team? Because they've got themselves organised at the front. Geraint Thomas is in second place. He was the man that led out Ben Swift to victory in Manham and then fell off in that mass pile-up. But his man won, and he's right there in second wheel, and they've got Ben Swift lined up as well. This is Robbie McEwen. He'll watch every move, and he'll go late, and he sits on the wheel of Greipel.
Behind Robbie McEwen is Mark Cavendish. Behind Cavendish is Matty Goss. Matty Goss is locked into the wheel of the Manx Missile. Now, if Mark Cavendish can sprint to the 200-metre to-go point, he could very easily catapult Matty Goss into the win.
There are so many combinations. Everybody wants to win the last stage of a major cycle race because that's the winner we all remember. And now it is still Matty Heyman riding to his limit so he can ride no more at 50 kilometres an hour, and it looks as though he's reaching that now. He swings off. He looks straight into the eyes of the champion of the UK, Geraint Thomas, who is now leading up the home straight there. Sorry, Paul, carry on.
Don't play those games with Mr. Greipel. Looked like JJ Haedo was bumping and barging there a little bit with Andre Greipel wearing number 1. Robin McEwen's up there in the middle there, bouncing and barging. This is going to be a rip-roaring sprint.
Well, Greipel is on the wheel of Greg Henderson, and there's another bumper shoulders there as they fight for the wheel here as the lead out starts for the line now. This is going to be the end of the Santos Tour Down Under in fine fettle as somebody's gone on the left and he's dancing like it might well be Mark Cavendish here. As then Sky are after him, Greg Henderson goes after him here, and over the top Sky have got this if they can hold the pace all the way to the line. They've got it 1-2 on the line, and I think that the third place there was probably Robbie McEwen, which means that Cam Meyer has won the Santos Tour Down Under. That was incredible as Swift has got it. Henderson is second. Matthew Goss has crossed the line in third place. He gets a 4-second time bonus. He loses the race to Cam Meyer by 2 seconds. Can you believe a finish like that? And Ben Swift gets his second stage win of the tour as well. So Sky has saved the day for Cam Meyer from Perth, and they didn't want they've given him the Tour Down Under, but they've won the stage. That was all they wanted. Boy, I'm rather pleased they've done all that out because it was very difficult to calculate, but that's how I see it. I'll give you the result. Ben Swift the winner for Sky, Greg Henderson in second place, Matthew Goss in third, Robbie McEwen in fourth, Juan Jose Hayedo in 5th, Davis in 6th, Greipel 7th. It was a good job because Cam Meyer was clearly washed away on that run to the line. His eyes were shut and he was just waiting to hear Jimmy Jakes announce the winner and hope that the word wasn't Michael Matthews or Matthew Goss. And it wasn't. He has won the Santos Tour Down Under, and that is the most incredible result for the youngster whose fairy tale career goes on and on. Just look at this, little bit of bumping going off there. That's Greipel bouncing off, I think it was actually Juan Hayedo there, as the Hayedo won that one and got in ahead of Andre, because Andre really wanted to win this. He's won the last stage before in the past, and there's another little bit of a thump. That was from Robbie McEwen getting knocked from both sides there. And still holding position as McEwen now is getting warmed up for the sprint. It probably cost him a place on the podium today because he finishes the line in 4th place. And then comes the rush for the line here. I saw Henderson moving up very quickly and Swifty got onto his back wheel. And Henderson is such a strong boy when it comes to the lead out. Look at this. Henderson was the boy who crashed in sight of the finish at the Cancer Classic last Sunday when he might have won that. But this time he moves smoothly out the way. Ben Swift gets in. Henderson gets second. McEwen narrowly beaten on the line there by Matthew Goss. But Matthew Goss, with a 10, 6 and 4 second bonus system, the 4 seconds wasn't quite enough. He was 6 seconds behind Cameron Meyer. This race has been a matter of seconds. These boys have worked it out almost to perfection. Poor old Cam Meyer, his legs had given up the day. He was in the pack though, and he was listening intensely interested in what the PA was saying as to the name of the first 2 riders over the line. And when he heard they were both from the Sky team, he knew he'd won the event. And Goss got 3rd. Got to feel sorry for Matthew Goss, as we always do when you lose a race and you get so close to winning it, because in all fairness, Goss has had a brilliant week, and it all began a week ago, literally just about a kilometre away on a different circuit in Rye Mill Park, where he won the Cancer Council Classic. He started out his career with the silver medal in the Scratch Championships under 16. There's the results of the IG Market Stage 6. Ben Swift gets it, Craig Henderson, Matthew Goss, McEwen, Hayedo, Davis, Greipel. Filieux, the Frenchman, was in 8th, Vigano in 9th, and Jonathan Cantwell from the Uni SA, a good sprinter, he finished in 10th place. That's the results. I think we can go back and see how Mike Tomalaris is getting on.
The general classification looks like this. The winning margin just 2 seconds. Matthew Goss, I tell you what, he might have a few beers tonight, but you'll probably drown in them after he looks at the general classification, finishing behind Cameron Meyer. Ben Swift, a wonderful performance from him, the British rider, winning 2 stages over 6 days, 3rd in the end for Team Sky. And it's been a wonderful Santos Tour Down.